everybody.
Hey, everybody.
Nope.
Twins. Hi, I'm Christian.
And I'm Angela. And we are married.
And bored. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. We are Christian and Angela, and we're still married and bored after all this time. Welcome to episode 22.
We are so glad you're here. It's a special one.
It is very special, and just to quote our early episodes, I'll just say, we made it.
We did. We made it. It's been 1 year, almost to the day of this podcast. And so, light a candle, eat a piece of cake, and enjoy this
and sing.
Wonderful
Instagram
episode.
Live singing to us. That would be great.
Yes.
Yeah, we started or released our very first episode of this show almost a year ago today at the time of this recording. We released our show October 14th of last year.
It's been a whole year.
It's been 1 year since you...
Oh,
is that how the song goes?
That was good.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get down to business and start out our show the way we always do.
Yeah, let's do it. What is up with you?
Me first?
Yeah.
All right, guys. It is the fall season.
Mm-hmm. Pumpkin spice.
Full of pumpkin spice, full of pumpkin patches.
Candy corn.
Candy corns, candy canes. Nope, that's a different one. And it is abomination season for board games, at least in my mind.
Are you talking about just terrible, terrible board games that are abominations?
No, and I'm also not talking about Hulk's arch nemesis.
That's right.
So, I'm talking about the Plaid Hat game Abomination.
That's right.
Which I dare to say might be my favorite game of 2019.
Wow.
So if you go back and listen to our second episode, we talked about it at length, but Plaid Hat just released a
companion app.
Yeah, a companion app with the character voices. So the app will read the events to you, it will read the prologue, it will read the letter, the ending. So really neat. Adds definitely some theme to your night, and we already think that game is super thematic.
Yeah.
And just a little bit of spooky, a little bit of fun. Cherry on top of the cake for that game.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's very similar to the Forgotten Waters app and interface. So if you played that or listened to our show on that, it's very similar to that. Like I said, you just enter in a little code, and based on what you draw in the game, and someone will read that card to you, so you don't have to read it.
Isn't that wonderful?
I think it's great because me reading things out loud, 99% of the time, I will mispronounce a word.
Yeah.
Because I'm so worried about what I'm going to say or what I'm supposed to say.
Yeah.
That I'll mispronounce the word song and say thong, and then everyone goes, oh, what's on your mind? And I'm like, nothing, I just can't read.
Well, there you go.
You don't know what to say.
I don't know what to say to that.
What's on your mind is what you should have said.
What's on your mind?
I do think this is really cool. I hope they do this with other games. None of them are really coming to mind right now, but I think it's neat that this game has been out for over a year, and they decided to just update it and just add a little, like Angela said, cherry on top.
Chronicles of Crime should have this.
Yeah, there's a lot of reading in Chronicles of Crime. Holy cow.
Mansions of Madness should have this.
Yes.
They do read the start of the scenario.
True. But then, every little text that pops up, someone should read it.
Yep.
Yeah, I can see that. The funny thing to me about this one, though, is there's not a ton of reading in this game.
Right. Okay. But there's events every round.
There is. Yeah, and it's a card size of text to read.
Uh-huh.
It's not a ton, and I'm not disappointed they did it. It just seemed like one that probably didn't need it, but I'm glad it has it.
Yeah, because it adds so much theme.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, as we were testing it out a few days ago, and right before the show as well, and I turned on the app in my browser, and then I flipped back to show notes or whatever, and I couldn't figure out where this water noise, this dripping water noise, was happening.
It was like the lab.
Yeah, it had ambient noise to sound like an old science lab.
Yeah.
Yeah, from like Frankenstein times. So
That is so cool. So I'm really excited about that. We've played around with it a little bit, and of course we've played the game many times before the companion app. So we're excited to do maybe a full playthrough with the companion app and not just play around with the app.
yeah.
I also have a second one.
Oh, really? Let me ask you a question then before you jump into this. It has to go along with the spooky games. Are there any other spooky games that you're looking forward to playing this, or that you want to play in this season?
Yeah, I mean, I really like. Well, I don't know if I really like it. I'm looking forward to trying out Horrified.
Oh, okay.
So I'm really looking forward to that. I have no idea if I'll like it because never played it. I do enjoy like a Fury of Dracula, a Dead of Winter. I'm sure there's other ones that I just can't think of right now.
Yeah, well, we have Mansions, of course,
Yes.
which we've played probably not too much, but it's kind of lost that
Love and Feeling?
Yes, just like the song says. Whoa, whoa, whoa. But yeah, I was just curious on that because it's funny, like, of all the games that you would put higher on your list, they're all kind of like spooky games.
I do, because I think they do so, in general, now this is not all the time, but in general they do so well on the theme and drawing you into the world.
Mm-hmm.
And I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
So
I could get down with some Fury of Dracula. That's a fun game. And we've been having a couple over, every week or so to play a game. And that one's good because one team, four people could be on one team, and then one person can be Dracula. So all the newbies or whoever is coming to play, you can have one of us, Christian or Angela, be on that team and teach them how to play, and then having a new player be Dracula is probably not what you want to do anyways, so...
Let's be real. Who would be the one that would be on the teaching team, and who would be Dracula?
Well, I think you would probably be Dracula.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know why that was a point I needed to make.
I don't know either. Except if we play it, I'm going to be Dracula.
Okay, Christian's got it.
I'll lose in probably turn 2.
If you've never checked that out, check it out. It's a hidden movement game, and it's pretty fun.
Yeah, it's neat.
Okay, my second one was because last episode, if you remember, the referee said it was okay if I have 2 pieces of news.
Yeah, I mean, there's no limit. I checked with the podcast police. They said it's fine.
We are going to be on a Facebook Live for a friend that I have who runs a community of kind of retired, mostly women, I believe, but men as well, who just are looking for things to do in their retired life or hobbies or interests.
Yeah, they're like entering what they call like the next stage.
Yes.
So they're already empty nesters, and now they're kind of stopping working.
So she's asked us to be on this coming week to talk about some holiday board games. And for that audience, it's going to be all sorts of different categories that we maybe don't talk as much about here, like party games, family games with and without kids. We did put some like entry level or maybe next step into modern board games for people, but just different games that we don't often talk about on our podcast. And we've put a little holiday 2020 guide up on our website that corresponds to what we'll be talking about there. So if you want to go and check out the list of games that we're going to be talking about, it's on our website. It's at marriedandboard.com/holiday2020, and you can see the categories and what games we recommend. And if you comment and let us know if you have any games that maybe you look at the category and you think, oh, that would be such a good one. Like we have a category called Family Games with Kids.
Mm-hmm.
And we know it's not an exhaustive list because we only have so much time on the Facebook Live. But we just tried to pick like maybe 3 or 4 in each category that came to mind pretty easily. So yeah, go check it out. We'd love to hear what you think about those.
Yeah, there's links there to purchase them too if you're interested. But yeah, like Angela said, it's stuff that we really don't talk about, like monikers is on there, Marvel United is one we've played a lot with the kids. Just in our world, games that maybe don't warrant a whole show.
Yeah.
But they're definitely games that we play and enjoy and like to pass along to other people. It's not a perfect list. It's just our list for this event. So if you're looking for the perfect holiday 2020 list, this is probably not it. But if you're interested in what we're playing beyond what we talk about, this is a good list to check out.
Yeah, definitely. If you're thinking about, like, what would Christian and Angela play at the, Christmas table or whatever with family?
Yeah.
These are ideas. So, Christian.
Yo.
What's up with you?
Oh, man, so much. If you... a lot of what Angela said kind of overlaps with me, too. But we talked last episode about the great shelf game migration.
The shelf debacle.
Yeah, from my office to our front room, where we're trying to make bookshelves and make it kind of like a reading area in the house. And the whole debate was, do we put covers or doors over these shelves to hide the games or not? It's not really a debate anymore because we're getting doors. Angela won that one, but we did get the shelf we wanted. Finally, we got one of the IKEA Kallax or however you say it. But yeah, so that's up and ready to go. The thing I love about it is that the shelf we had was great, but after putting together the IKEA shelf, we have room for more games.
More games.
Yeah. There's 2 pretty much empty cubes out of the 12 of the shelf we bought. So
I had to remind Christian that didn't mean that he could go buy more games.
No. But holidays are coming up, and what are you going to get me for Christmas? But again, along those lines, if you have been listening to us for a while, back at the beginning of this year, like me specifically, talked about Kickstarter like for 3 to 5 episodes in a row during the beginning of the show. There was just so many hot video games, board games.
Maybe video games.
Probably video games, board games that were being released at the beginning of the year. And so, like, one of them finally is being shipped to us this month.
Woohoo!
And that's PAX Premier 2nd edition. So that's really fun. It's designed by one of the designers from Root, who did Root.
Yeah.
So it's a really neat-looking game. It's very pretty. It's got some components that are cool. And the board is like a rug.
Yeah,
it's like
I'm excited.
fabric.
I'm excited for that board.
Yeah, and a lot of people who backed it have gotten theirs already, and they've just said that the production quality is through the roof on this one. So
boom,
I'm excited for this one. I feel like I haven't gotten a new game in a while. I know that's not true.
That is not true.
But when it's been 2 or 3 days and that hasn't happened, so. So yeah, I'm looking forward to play that. And that one should probably let us coast to the end of the year with shows and games. And
I would say yes, but you, on the other hand, I don't trust this sneaker over here. And plus, we probably are going to do the BGG Christmas exchange or the holiday board game exchange, so we will probably get another game before Christmas.
That's true.
But we will also give another game to someone else.
Yeah, last year we did do the BGG Secret Santa type exchange.
What it was.
Yeah, so we actually have our wish list kind of created in preparation for that. If you guys want to check it out, you can go to boardgamegeek.com/wish list/Married and Board. You can kind of see what we're interested in, and it'd be really cool if you see one on there that you love and you agree with, or if there's one not on there that you think we should look at and add to the list. That would be awesome.
Or, in the other note, if they want to say, hey, played this game, not worth your time.
Yeah, exactly.
We may or may not agree with you, but that would be helpful to know.
Yeah, because there's something about like the anonymity. Is that the right how you say it?
Yeah, anonymity.
There you go. And then you just give them a blank list of games to get something that you're kind of disappointed in, it's just kind of like, why did I even have that on the list? So
Right.
that's the thing that like always bugs me with this. It's like, yes, I want to play Horrified sometime, but do I want to receive it in a holiday gift exchange from a stranger?
Okay.
I don't want to. That just seems a little disappointing to me when I can get it at Target anytime.
Okay. I see your point. Yeah.
Like I want like a game.
Now last year I think we got 2.
We did. We got a Wingspan expansion.
The European expansion.
And we got
Azul.
Yep, that was it.
Yeah. And we gave. Do you remember what we gave?
Yeah, we gave Rebellion.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there you go.
I do remember that.
Yes, and we did our little stalker when we found out he was in St. Paul.
Yeah, that's right. Because we're from Minnesota, so you got to do it. Not creepy at all.
When we come back, we are going to be talking about something a little bit different than our normal format, so stay tuned and we'll be right back. This episode is sponsored by Showit. Hey Christian, why do we love Showit?
Well, we love it because we are terrible at designing websites.
That is true.
And we were able to make our site using Showit in a couple hours.
Yeah, if you're stuck in like some boring website template, you need to check out Showit and experience what they have to offer. It's really simple, it's drag and drop, and our website, if you've never been there, is beautiful, if I may say so myself.
Yeah, we use Showit to make it, and you can get started for free. Showit.co. Check it out. All right, well, we wanted to take the opportunity in this show, because it's our year anniversary,
Yeah, our
pretty
show's
much,
year anniversary.
to revisit one of our very first episodes and talk about Marvel Champions again, because so much has changed with that game in the past year.
So much.
And, we just want to talk about it again,
Yeah.
because it is so different.
We met that game on the ground level of not only our show, but I think it was episode 3, but also of that game, that LCG it's on its ground level. And so we had never done that before.
Right. We haven't been at the start. We always heard of these games late. Like, excuse me, Lord of the Rings is a great game, but when we started playing it, we were like so far behind in all these cards that we needed to get to catch up.
Same with Destiny.
Well, Destiny I jumped in right away.
Oh.
But then I stopped and started and stopped and started.
That's what
But you get the idea. Mm-hmm. That it's like there's just so much back catalog that you had to go and get.
Yes.
Now this time we've been able to keep up with the releases, which for me has been really fun.
Right. And now we're going to break from our normal format when we talk about this, because normally we talk about 5 categories that we look for in a game and that we think about when we play a game and what makes it good to us. If you're looking for those 5 categories, we have them for this game. They're on episode 3, released almost a year ago, and you can go look at that. And we didn't want to just reiterate the same stuff.
Yeah, because it hasn't changed, to be honest.
The content of the game has, evolved, and new characters have been released, and that's what we wanted to talk about. So
yeah.
We wanted to give an update of our play experience and also just facts about the game that have changed throughout the year, and then some side notes that we have.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Let's talk about the heroes that have been released in the past year. In the core box, when we talked about it last time, there are 5 heroes. They were all really fun. I think I liked playing Spider-Man a lot back in the day, a year ago. And you liked She-Hulk. You gravitated towards her right away. And we were able to lose a lot of that game. Using the core box.
We did win a few times.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. But since then, they've released a ton of content, a ton of heroes specifically. They've had 6 hero packs released, and that ranges from like Miss Marvel, who's a super new superhero, to classics like Captain America, Black Widow, Hulk,
Thor.
So there's some that I'm forgetting too, but it's been really fun to get those, to see how they play, to get the new cards to add to all of the aspects that you that you get to deck build around.
Yeah.
So that's been really cool. On the opposite side of the heroes, there's been villains.
Yes. So we had the Green Goblin pack, which we might have already had in our possession at the time we recorded episode 3. We couldn't remember exactly.
Yeah, I think they kind of released simultaneously.
Yeah, and then we just got, most recently, the Red Skull campaign.
We got the campaign, and then
Yes.
we got
In between there.
Kang, the Conqueror.
Oh, yes, in the
and
campaign.
then we got what's the other one?
Taskmaster.
No, Taskmaster's
Oh,
in the
that's
campaign,
right.
but it's the Wrecking Crew, which is the 4 villains that you fight at the same time.
Yes.
Which is it's really fun. What I think is great about the villain boxes that they release is that each of them brings a new mechanic into how they fight you, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Looking back to like some of the early villains in the core box, you just try to hit them before they hit you. And I know that's kind of like a simple term, but like there wasn't much going on other than like he attacks, you attack, he attacks, you attack. And the other expansions have kind of
More theme.
turned that on its head a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like how they bring out different aspects of the characters from the comics. Mm-hmm. Incorporate that in a mechanic.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question real quick then.
Okay.
What of the heroes who have been released,
Yeah.
what's your favorite? Did you have a favorite?
So non-starting 5.
Yeah. And then take out Spider-Woman and Hawkeye.
Oh, take out those?
Yeah.
Because they're from the newest campaign.
Yeah.
That's really hard. Probably Hulk.
Hulk.
Because I feel like personally I'm still learning how to play him well.
Okay.
He's got a discard whole hand a forced interrupt after when he's in hero form.
Yeah, because he's so strong, you don't want to have all the opportunities to play all your cards.
So that's interesting to me, and I've gotten better at it. I think I have yet to perfect that, in my opinion, as if you ever really perfect a board game. But you know what I mean. I feel like there's still gaps in my understanding there. So he's probably the one that's most interesting to me.
Okay, cool. And what about a villain deck? Like a villain to fight? Do you have a favorite of the new ones?
So Kang is intriguing.
King is cool.
It hurts my brain because when you get into that second phase, if you're not familiar with Kang, he's going to separate everyone. So if you're playing with 2 people, you're now each in your own separate universes fighting separate Kangs.
Yeah, Kang is like a time traveling warrior person. Kind of like Thanos, but travels through time, which Thanos, I guess, did in the movie. But anyways,
The Time Stone.
that's
Yes.
right. So he kind of like splits the group into 2 time periods, and you can't help each other, and you're just basically playing your own solo game until you kill your guy, and then you can go help your friend.
Yeah.
It's
so
really-
there's a lot
yeah.
to keep track of in the play area when that happens.
Mm-hmm.
And so that can hurt my head, but I think it's a very, very cool mechanic.
Yeah. So yeah, there's just been, and then why don't we just touch on the campaign box?
Yeah.
That is new as of like 2 months ago, and that introduced 5 more villains. We don't have to list them all, but you can look that up. There's Red Skull, Taskmaster, some of the more classic Marvel villains are in there, and then not Red Skull, Hawkeye and Spider-Woman are added as heroes. So that brings the total to like 8 heroes.
Yeah.
8
How
villains.
many villains? Yeah.
8, maybe more than that. Maybe
Well,
like
if you
11.
if you count the Wrecking Crew, 4 separate villains.
That's true. That's a lot.
Yeah. So they've done a lot of expansion on this game throughout the year. And I was wondering if we could just talk for a second about some of maybe just one of each. One least favorite thing about this game and one most favorite thing about this game for you.
Okay. Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, as you've been playing it over the past year. Maybe it's like a specific play experience, or it's a character or a card or something.
Yeah, I think the specific play experience probably happened like 2 days ago, which is really fun. Maybe we'll touch on that in a minute because I think that's probably one of yours as well. But I just love getting the new characters. Since the ramp up after the COVID lockdown in like May or June, they started doing them monthly again. And so I can count on getting something monthly, which is very fun. And I love new experiences in games. And so like when a hero comes, I'm ready to just get that new experience in a game I already know how to play.
Yeah.
Which is really intriguing to me. So it's probably annoys you, Angela, a little bit that I'm always playing someone new and
that might be my least favorite.
Yeah, and not good at, but I do enjoy that a lot.
Okay, so that's your favorite,
Yeah.
and simultaneously my least favorite. So why don't you tell your least favorite?
My least favorite in this game is losing a lot. Man, I feel that, well, the majority of the time we play this game, we lose. And it's not like 60-40. It's probably like 80-20 in terms of loss versus wins.
Recently, though,
Yes.
we've been on a good streak.
But over the year,
Yeah.
we lose a lot. And it's really frustrating to see the opposite happen to people in streams that I watch, in Instagram posts, Reddit posts, BGG forums, whatever. This game's too easy. I put it on ultra hard, blah, blah, and I beat it with no damage taken. And I'm just like, no, you didn't. I just don't understand it.
Yeah, I don't understand
It's
that
frustrating.
either.
And I lose games more than I win in general. But this one bugs me. Most of them don't bug me.
Right.
Yeah. How about you? Same question.
Okay. So probably like a combination. Like I agree with your least favorite. I think that not fully, but it's partly due to the fact that you're always learning someone new. So that might, if you stuck with one person. Now the flip side of that coin is we might win more, but you might have less fun because you enjoy the new experience of the game. So I think you don't need to give that up just to win. You have to balance that. I'll give that to you. But my favorite thing about this game is just I was immediately drawn to She-Hulk. I just love how she plays. I love the female power.
Yeah.
And I've been recently really enjoying playing Spider-Woman. So, in the middle there, the middle of this year of Marvel Champions, I got pretty into Captain Marvel, not Miss Marvel.
Oh, that's right. You did a bunch of solo stuff with her, didn't you?
Yeah. I'd kind of forgotten about her.
Blast or whatever.
Now, I'm not anti-male superhero. I definitely have played the male superheroes, like I mentioned earlier. Hulk is one that I enjoy trying to perfect, but I always come back to the ladies.
Yeah, that's one thing this game has done really well out the gate. It came with She-Hulk and Miss Marvel. Not Miss Marvel.
Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel. And I didn't know who She-Hulk was. I mean, I knew who she was, but I didn't know what her deal was.
Yeah, and guess what he was reading last night, you guys?
Yeah.
You want to tell them?
You can do it.
He was reading a comic, and I knew it was a comic that he was reading, but I didn't know which one. And I look over and I see a big old Titania on the screen.
Yeah, She-Hulk's nemesis. That might be one of my favorite things about this game, is that it gets me interested in learning more about all the heroes. And so like I signed up for like that Marvel United, not United, Unlimited, where you have access to their comics. They had a super cheap deal in the middle of the summer for a whole year. And so I was just like, all right, signing up. And so now for a year I can read whatever's on there. And it's fun. It's fun to just read about that. You see these characters pop up and you're like, oh, that's who that is. Or if you see we saw a card and then later on in a book that I'll read, he shows up. So you make that connection. It makes the game that much more fun.
Definitely. Yeah, there's a lot of things we love about this game, but if we had to boil it down to our our favorites, that's probably it. And then there's a few little things that keep sticking at us, like always losing.
Yeah.
And I think that we're going to talk about that more.
Well, let's just jump into it. Like, why? What's the deal?
Yeah, so some things we've maybe learned or discovered about this game as this year goes on. I think for a long time, it's not that, I don't know how to describe it. It's not that we didn't read the directions. We read the directions, and hello, if you know me, I love directions. Mm-hmm. So I think on some level, I knew this, but we were not putting into practice the idea of the asking for actions and the really helping each other throughout the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we've gotten so much better at that. We knew it was something we could do. We just never really, for some reason, it just never got into our play style.
Well, it didn't click at first either. And I don't know if it does 100% still.
Right. We're still learning that, honestly.
And maybe that's what we're missing, but that's definitely one thing where we were like, oh, wait, I could block for you? Or you could exhaust that card for me?
Right.
What?
I will say, okay, I don't know. I was going to say we haven't run into a ton of situations where we can do that, but I guess that maybe that's wrong. Because now that we've started utilizing those rules, we do block for each other.
Mm-hmm.
We realize it maybe ally distribution matters less than we thought it did because, for instance, Christian loves playing allies.
Leadership, yep.
He loves it. But not just the aspect of leadership. You just love getting people out and in play.
Well, yeah, for the longest time, I was like, okay, what's the deal? Why is everyone online raving about how overpowered these people are? Allies are so overpowered. And I just couldn't, in my head, justify the cost of playing one in terms of the game until I just started doing it. And then it's just like, oh, they allow you to do other things.
Yeah.
And block bad guys so that you can do those more powerful stuff earlier than you don't have to heal, you can damage, there's just all sorts of stuff.
Yeah. They might prevent a scheming from happening, like a whole bunch of things. Mm-hmm. So I'm not quite there. Like when you look at our play area, when we play, Christians, well, he'll have 8 or 10 cards in front of him on his play area.
Yeah.
And I'll probably have 3.
Yeah.
And I haven't gotten there yet, but what I do like that we've discovered is that, okay, so Christian has 5 allies out, and we used to think that had to be so balanced, and now I've realized it doesn't necessarily have to be.
What do you mean by balanced?
I need to have 5 allies out to help me.
Oh.
Where you can just use your allies if I need it.
Yeah.
Not in an annoying way, like I'm just going to rely on you.
Well, I mean, you could,
but
in a way.
A team way. Like if we decide that maybe something I could pay for besides an ally is worth it.
Yeah. Well, I think, too, for you, you don't even play, a lot of upgrades, which is just bonkers to me sometimes. Because some of those help so much.
Right.
At least in the characters that I typically play.
Right. And maybe that's something I'm missing for sure. I think, like you said, it's still hard for me to wrap my brain around the cost of an ally being worth 4 or 5 or 6. That's really hard for me to justify.
Sure.
I have done it, and I do that, but it's not as frequent as yours. And the blocking, and another thing we've discovered is the helicarrier and the mansion. So asking for that action, that's when we use less so than maybe blocking for each other.
Yeah, if they're out and we need it. Mm-hmm. It's definitely something that we've learned to do. And one thing that has definitely helped me the more and more I play this, even with the amount of heroes that I play, is not being afraid to just discard a card in your hand just to get rid of it and get something new from your deck. Like running out of your cards or running out of your deck doesn't do anything in this game. And in fact, in most of the characters, they kind of encourage that because you might need that one support to exhaust that heals you every turn. Like, that's huge.
Yes.
And getting that sooner rather than later is much better. Like, Doctor Strange has his cloak, and that allows him to do so much. And if you don't have that in the first 3 turns, it's a completely different game than if it's at the very bottom of your deck.
Right. And I think that's something that we both do much better than we used to do. Like, we wouldn't even get, I don't know, halfway through our deck.
No, but I think we were used to, like, Lord of the Rings.
Sure.
Back in the day.
So we plow through it. It's rare when I don't shuffle my deck and redeal, like, and I think that also makes you stronger because you get cards again that you've already used, even if you don't have the ability to do so.
Yeah.
So that's one thing we've kind of discovered or learned about this game through the year. What about your organization system? Do you want to tell them about that?
Yeah, sure. One thing that I knew going into this game, I was like, this is one I'm going in for. I think internally I said, I'm going to go for the first year and just see where it goes, and maybe it'll fizzle or it'll just keep ramping up. It's ramping up.
Yes.
It's getting so much more content. They have these awesome new cards that are coming out for Ant-Man and Wasp. And if you know those characters, they get big and small, so their cards like unfold to be a double card. So you have huge Ant-Man, huge Wasp. They're moving into X-Men characters, Guardian characters. Like, they are not stopping with this, and that makes me really excited.
Yep.
And I knew that all these cards were coming, that I just wouldn't be able to just keep them in the box that came in. So I bought a artist case from Hobby Lobby or Michaels, and one of the Broken Token card organizers. And we can put a picture in the post for the show here so you can see it. But I've had a lot of fun doing that.
Yeah.
And it's really nice to have everything in one spot and not have to go like, okay, so there's the core box, this is the expansion people, this is the bad guy people. Like, it's just all right there.
Yes. I love it. And the organization is good. We found, now it might have to change as more and more cards get added to the row or the columns in the box. But for now, we found, just by chance, we weren't even searching for them, some Dollar Tree.
Yeah, dollar store little like Tupperware containers.
Yeah, they're in like the craft aisle of our local Dollar Tree store. And they're tiny little Tupperware storage, so we store our tokens there.
Yep.
We've been liking that so far because it also just, you take it out, you open the lid, and you keep them in there during the playthrough, and you don't have to have piles of tokens that you then have to resort when you tear down.
Exactly.
So that's been nice. One thing I still wish we had, but only when we play the Wrecking Crew, is some more dials.
Yeah. And I've seen people do like dice or...
Oh, sure. And that's what we just use either tokens or we use a pad of paper and a pen.
For sure. Yeah. It's been fun. We've played it, and we've played it a lot more in the past month than we have previous to this month. And we're having a really good time. I remember we played, I think it was last night or 2 nights ago, we were playing Taskmaster, who's a part of the campaign, which we're not playing the campaign using campaign rules. We're just kind of going through each scenario to see what it's like.
Yeah.
So we don't just get super discouraged in a campaign and die in the first round.
We've been winning.
That's true.
Everyone should know.
We have been winning. We've beaten everybody up to Taskmaster. And even we beat Taskmaster. There was one turn where I had 1 health, and I think you had 2.
I had 2 health.
And we were just like, all right, well, we're going to die. And we somehow turned the corner.
Yeah.
And we won, which was really cool. And that was probably my favorite moment playing this game in the last year.
Yeah.
And that happened yesterday.
Yes.
Of all the playthroughs. Like, that's what I want to happen more in this game, is those, like, I think I called them like superhero moments where you're just like, oh my gosh, Doctor Strange is almost done. But then you play a War Machine card and he comes in and saves the day, and you're able to turn that around and go from 1 health back up to 10 and then stay at 10 for the rest of the game and then win.
Yeah. I think, can I just give you what I observe about this situation, Christian?
Okay. If I said no.
I think it's because you've been playing Doctor Strange for a while and you've just really gotten good at him.
Okay.
And so we've been having more of those superhero moments.
Maybe.
Because I feel like I had a lot of those at the beginning with She-Hulk.
Yeah, like Gamma Slam.
With the Gamma Slam.
10 plus damage at
times.
times.
You know? Or even like one time I remember with Hulk, it wasn't a whole play experience, but I remember one turn just like, boom, thunderclap.
Yeah, 14 damage or whatever.
It was like, that's the one that does damage to multiple enemies.
You just wiped the board.
So that was really a cool theme moment, superhero moment. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and that's cool. And it was fun to have that. I will say that there are some heroes that I've only played once and haven't come back to. Thor. I feel like Thor should be really strong, and I just, in the one time I played, I didn't feel very strong.
Yeah.
Ms. Marvel, I don't know what to do when I play her.
Interesting. Yeah, I haven't had the desire to play her.
Yeah. Everyone, again, online or like on the forums, they say she's really good. Like, she's really good, really fun to play, and I like that character. I think she's a great character in the comic books and in the Marvel Avengers video game. She's really cool. Right. So I want to give her another chance.
Yep.
Is there anyone that you don't play typically that you'd like to like give a try or like get better at?
I don't know. It's probably my least favorite one to play, and this is weird, is Doctor Strange, and it's weird because I like playing with him. I think he's very strong and good.
Super strong.
I just don't like being him.
Okay.
So I don't know what that is there. It's not that I think he's a bad character. I love when you're him and I get to be someone else. So I don't know. Maybe he just doesn't intrigue, like his cards don't intrigue me or something. But then I would love to say that I'm good at Iron Man, I guess, because
Iron Man.
Thematically, I like that he's kind of nothing as Tony Stark, and then as he builds his suit, he gets more and more powerful, but nothing's clicked there for us.
Yeah.
Maybe not both of us, but you've tried playing him, like, isolated of times, like, not in a row, but just, like, 1, 2, or 3 times throughout the year, and it just never clicked.
Never. Yeah.
So
he would be cool. Like, he's a cool character, because, like you said, you build him up. Mm-hmm. And I just think there's, like, the slow... musical term crescendo to like to get to the final battle where Iron Man's just like chest blast, boom, and then he's dead. Mm-hmm. I think that's really thematic and cool to experience in the game. We have been more like, oh, I have a glove on, boom, Tony's dead.
Yeah. Discard and upgrade you control. Great, there goes Tony's glove.
Yeah, I would agree that Tony / Iron Man, I would love to be able to understand his cards more. And maybe we're not playing them with the right aspect. Maybe we're not playing them against the right villain. Because the more we've played it too, I've realized like Thor is just probably not good against Rhino because all Rhino does is hit back. Thor is good against people with a ton of minions. So maybe
Green
you play
Goblin.
him against Goblin, yeah. And that's something I have to get over. Like maybe we've picked the bad guy and then we pick the good guys.
Yes. And also, I think the characters have to work together well.
Yeah.
So you don't... I mean, I guess you could, of course, and I'm sure someone could prove me wrong out there, but I'd say you probably want people that have separate strengths.
Yeah.
As your heroes.
Unless you personally decide to be like, we are just going to blast this guy down.
Which is an interesting strategy.
Aggression, and let's go.
Right. And honestly, for Kang, you have to rethink that whole thing as well because you're going to be isolated from each other in the middle of the game. And if someone can only thwart and the other person can only damage, then you're kind of SOL.
Yeah, we ran into that when you were Hulk. And then I think I was Black Widow. And I was like, I can't kill anybody over here because I do 1 damage every turn.
Right.
But I can thwart, I guess. But that doesn't help me.
Right.
I have to wait for you to kill your guy so you can jump over to me. And it's interesting.
So you do have to think about who's playing, like which villain is coming to attack, and what heroes are going to play. And that's cool because I think that lends itself to the experience. You know, you can picture in the Quinjet, like, who's going on this mission against so-and-so.
Exactly.
So I think that is another fun thematic aspect to the game.
For sure.
And there's so many other components that people have created, like upgraded token chips that we just don't have, but you can find them out there. They look beautiful. There's even like... I think Team Covenant has displayed them on their Instagram, the player boards.
Yeah.
That hold the chips for, they hold the damage, they hold your components for you and the cards, and it's really neat.
Every time I see something like that, I'm like, I would never buy that. But I really want it.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll buy it.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so I get like this, I think... As of recently, as we wrap up the conversation about Marvel Champions, it's kind of turned a corner for us on the up and up. Like, we're winning a little bit more. Maybe it's because I'm playing Doctor Strange consistently rather than jumping from person to person. Maybe we're just understanding it more. Maybe it's the amount of times we've played it. Like, people who play this game, maybe that's their only game. And they're just playing Marvel Champions all day, every day.
Yeah.
We've had 22 episodes of different games that we've played over the past year, and so that time is dedicated elsewhere, so we're not perfecting this. So
totally.
I like where it's going. I like our journey, our hero's journey through
I do too.
Through Marvel Champion. Angela, what's one hero that you would like to see in this game that's not in this game?
Oh, that's a tough one. Well, I mean, it's kind of unfair to say this, but I'm looking forward to Ant-Man.
Okay.
Can I say that?
You can say that because I'm really looking forward to that too. I was more thinking one that you don't know is coming, like...
Okay.
Like Rogue from X-Men, or I don't even know...
Sure.
I don't even know who you'd think.
I know. Well, because now I'm thinking X-Men. But I would like to see the potential of a Guardians team.
I think that'd be really fun too, yeah.
That'd be neat to...
I think that'd be cool.
Mm-hmm. Or, Scarlet Witch and Vision.
Yeah, Scarlet Witch is
I know
coming.
Vision is your favorite
Vision
superhero.
is the worst Avenger. A Vision hero would be cool because he's got the ally card already. A hero would be interesting. Scarlet Witch pairs with Quicksilver because they're brother and sister, but she could also pair with Vision because in the comics they're married and whatever. But yeah, that'd be really cool. X-Men, I think everyone's looking forward to X-Men.
Right.
Like, once they do Wolverine, like, people are going to freak out.
So stay tuned.
Yeah, but I just think it'd be
Champions.
cool to do the other, like, Beast. Beast is
Yeah.
cool. It's kind of like Hulk, but smarter.
I mean, obviously, this game just has, a licensing that's almost unlimited.
Yeah, 80 years of content. Yeah.
There's so much here that they could explore, and they've shown over the past year from the bottom of the start of the game till now that it's a really good game mechanically, and so now I think the options are limitless with introducing new characters. If it's not a fun game and it's not a good game mechanically, it doesn't matter how many characters you introduce, it just becomes more novelty. Yeah. So we're looking forward to seeing where this goes.
Yep. And one thing, Fantasy Flight, I know you're listening, more cards that look like comic books. Those are awesome.
Yes.
Well, we talked a lot longer about Marvel Champions than I thought we were going to talk.
It's true.
And that's always what I say. But we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back and we'll talk about the show, kind of where we see the show going in the next year. Hopefully you'll join us in the journey. Stay tuned. All right, Marvel Champions. Holy cow! I still love that game, and it's been like a minute since we talked about
You're
it.
still talking about it.
Yeah.
All right, we wanted to, in the second part, unlike our normal episodes, we usually talk about what we learned in the game or what we learned about our marriage or each other. Now we just wanted to take a second on this anniversary episode to talk about a look forward into the next year for the Married and Bored podcast and what that might look like. So, Christian, what do we have in store?
We have games. Marvel Champions is releasing new content all the time. We're going to switch to a Marvel Champions podcast. No. We're still, like, a lot can change. If 2020 has taught us anything,
be flexible.
Be ready for anything. We're still going strong. We still are enjoying doing this a lot. Mm-hmm. When we're still striving to do about 2 episodes a month. Obviously, things can change, like I just said, so that's the goal. When I say that, I wonder what games we'll do. Because like the great thing about starting the podcast is we had a backlog of games that we already owned that we'd love to talk about. Going forward, that backlog is getting smaller, and so like we're looking to games beyond our collection.
Sure.
But that's exciting because then I get to buy games.
He now has almost a free license to buy new games because of the podcast, and I'm excited about it. So, yeah, I'm not worried about how, the content. I think that there's plenty of games out there to explore. So it's just exciting to find ones that are either relevant to us or relevant because of a movie or a book or something, and there's a lot of new fun things coming out. So stay tuned still for the 2 episodes a month, maybe more, but for sure we're aiming for the 2 that we've been doing.
Definitely.
We also want to start introducing more blog posts on our website. So besides just the episode webpage, we'll also be hoping to link more stuff there, like things that we talk about during the podcast. We'll link that. We've done that on a few, maybe not as much with others. We'll hopefully be more consistent about the episode page, but beyond that, we hope to do more blog posts about games that we play a lot. We play a lot of games, whether that's me playing solo or that's us just buying a new game, and especially a quick game. We've been really into like 45 minutes or less games recently.
Yeah, definitely.
And some of the games, whether they're quick or not, don't make it to the podcast. So doesn't mean we can't talk about them on a blog post.
That's right. Yeah, or one we've already talked about, Chronicles of Crime, we've been playing with our friends. Because it's a good game to just introduce them. And so we've been going through a different scenario. There's no reason why we shouldn't talk about that.
Right.
Maybe not on a show, but we can post about it. So that's the goal. It's something that we neglected right at the gate, which is a great start.
We'll just be honest.
Yeah, to be honest, we did have a great start. You put up 2 posts, one about Star Wars Destiny, and then one about Stuffed Fables.
Yeah.
Which I think were very good.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. We're looking to expand that and do more.
Yeah, because there's a lot of things that, like you used to have a guys gaming group that was doing some role-play RPG stuff.
Yep.
I'm not really into that, so that could have been something he blogged about, and that's what we're thinking of in the future.
For sure.
Also, we've had some questions and also some thoughts in our mind about maybe exploring a video component. And we don't know exactly what that looks like. We feel like the learn how to play type of video is already, Rodney Smith does a terrific job at that. And we're not trying to compete with him or anyone else for that matter. So we would definitely not be the first to do something video, but we don't know what that means. We don't know if it means a how to play or a playthrough or just a video of our podcast, but we're exploring that idea.
Yeah, I mean, video is a very saturated market.
Yeah.
For especially board games. So it's just trying to figure out what works for us and what you guys are interested in. I guess if you're listening and what do you think we would be good at? Like, what do you want to see from us in terms of a video? I will probably hide my face the whole time because you definitely don't want to see that. But no.
Are you saying we have radio faces?
We have radio faces. Yep.
That's not true. He's very nice looking,
handsome. Some would say.
Some would
maybe
say.
Just you. But yeah, so videos. I think if we did how to play, people learn differently. So if we do it differently, that's fine. Maybe they'll jump in and learn with us. So
that's true.
Video, yeah.
Something's coming with the video, and that's probably more long term than short term.
Yeah, we're not looking.
Don't expect that by Halloween.
No, not at all. No, that's like very early stages. We would definitely have to flesh that out a lot more. So,
yes.
Man, we've had a lot of fun in this year talking about games.
Yes.
One of the main reasons we started the show was to just word vomit all these games.
All these ideas and thoughts.
About games to each other and to our listeners. So if you've stuck with us this long, thank you.
Thank you.
We appreciate everybody who listens and everybody who interacts with us on Instagram and all that places.
All those places.
There you go. So again, thank you for a great first year. We're looking for many, many more.
Yes.
Well, at least one.
Many, many more.
Right.
Many more anniversaries.
I do want to celebrate this momentous occasion, Ange, by asking you some rapid-fire board game questions.
Ooh.
And you knew this was coming.
I do not know what the questions are.
You don't know what the questions are. You actually made some questions for me, too.
I did.
So we decided to ask each other 5 questions about board games. Whether they're not trivia, but they're questions about maybe board games we own, board games we've played, podcasts.
And you're just supposed to say the first thing that comes to your mind. Or that's how I wrote mine.
Yeah, they're just really, really easy-ish questions. Yeah. So, Angela, ready?
Okay.
What is the game you have the most fun playing?
Abomination.
Okay. What is the game that we own or that we've played that is the hardest game to play?
Spirit Island.
What is your favorite game to talk about?
I don't know. Fog of Love.
Oh, wow. Okay. Throwback. All the way to February. What is a game that we own that you want to do a podcast on? Or an episode, I mean.
That's tough. Targi?
Targi. The new edition. It's one of those 45-minute games. All right, number 5. What is one game that you only play because you know I like it?
So many. The one that I always forget the name to, and why do I forget the name?
Is it the Viking one?
No.
Not Blood Rage?
No, I will play that if you want to play it, but that's a big group game.
Yeah.
No, it's the 2-player.
Oh, Cosmic Encounter?
There we go. Cosmic Encounter. Yep.
Oh, man, that's like one of my favorites of 2020.
Well, I hate to break it to you,
Dang.
but I play it because I love you.
Oh, man. Those are some good questions.
Well, I've got some for you.
Spirit Island, I totally forgot about. And I would probably put that in one of my hardest games to play, too.
And those answers, I feel like now just even taking
a few seconds
to think about some of those, I could maybe argue myself out of some of those answers.
Well,
but that's not the point.
That's not the point. All right, Angela, hit
Rapid
me.
fire. Okay. Game you could play every day, assuming you have enough time to do so.
I will say Marvel Champions.
Okay.
Lately, that's what we've been playing a lot.
Game you dread teaching to people.
Scythe.
Oh, that's a good one. Game you wish were a movie.
Game I wish was a movie. I guess a Cosmic Encounter movie would be cool. Maybe.
Okay.
Earth or like planet battles. Sure,
okay.
Let's do it.
Gaming pet peeve.
Oh my gosh. It's taking too long on your turn.
You mean like that answer right there?
Yeah. No, what's the word? What is it called?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
We're both having a brain fart.
Whatever. There's whatever it's called, was when you take too long and you don't know what to do and you take forever to play your turn.
once we figure out the term that we're both blanking on, we will put it in our blog post.
Oh man, what is it?
Analysis.
Paralysis of analysis?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, okay. What number are we on?
We are on the last one.
This is 5 already?
This is 5.
Ah, dang.
They're rapid fire.
I know.
Game accessory you wish you owned.
A box with all the games in it.
No.
No?
That's not allowed.
No.
That's like asking for more wishes.
I guess I would say upgraded components in any game, honestly.
Interesting.
What did you think I would say?
I thought you would say a gaming table.
Oh, well that's more than an accessory. That's like furniture.
Gaming accessories or furniture you wish you owned.
Gaming table would be really cool. Those are definitely on the far off wish list.
Yes. Well, we learned something about each other.
That's right. Well, again, just thank you again for listening throughout this year. Well, we're really excited to just plow through and keep going.
Yes.
Angela, why don't you run down how everyone can get in contact with us?
All right, guys. You can find us on Instagram at Married and Bored. You can email us on our website. There's a form filler, or you can email us at hello@marriedandbored.com. And we would love to chat with you, just hear what's on your gaming table, what's new to your shelf, what have you been struggling with, learning the rules to, or being excited about.
That's right.
Because we know that's a real thing during this COVID season. So any type of interaction we love, and we're excited to hear what's new in this year and interact with you then.
Cool. Anything else?
Well, we'll be back for another episode.
That's true. We hope everyone stays safe, stays healthy. Talk to you later.
See you then. Thanks for listening to this episode of the Married and Bored podcast. And guess what? We have a website where you can listen to podcast episodes and so much more. Find us at marriedandbored.com, or you can email us at hello@marriedandbored.com, or follow us on Instagram @marriedandbored. Music in this episode is by Joseph McDade. See you next time. Hey, all you sheeples and meeples. What you should do.